Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Fallout New Vegas. So we are in, where are we in? What is the Repcon facility basement? Yeah. There are these kind of invisible forms of super mutants, which there were invisible forms of monk crabs in Fallout 3, so I assume this is half that invisibility function and half just super mutant looking characters called Nightkin. We're not sure if they really are the bad guys or not. They're trying to stop this cult of ghouls, intelligent ghouls. This is the first time we've even run into intelligent speaking ghouls at all in the game. I did look it up as far as bobbleheads in this game, and that is like the one bit of information that's worth spoiling for myself, is where are bobbleheads, or are snow globes the equivalent of bobbleheads, and they aren't. There is some medical facility somewhere that will give you implants that can increase your perks, but your endurance needs to be kind of high so to get all the perks. So there is perhaps an argument that you should have started the game with 9 out of 10 endurance and probably 9 out of 10 intelligence, and even that still may not work well. These snow globes give you caps as a reward. They are the collectibles like bobbleheads, they just don't give you the special perks here. And I don't know if this game really has a New Game Plus where you could start over and roll over your stats. Definitely feels like there might be room for a mod there as far as starting over or starting with your stats at the most. But I would also argue that if you're going to use a mod to increase your special stats and your skill stats to the very highest level at the very beginning of the game, you are probably best doing that on a third playthrough, just to see every single possible option. And even then you won't get every single possible option, because there is low intelligence characters that if you lower your intelligence below 4 will give you other options, so you can't really have both. This feels very reminiscent of some of the like water treatment dungeons, and this green light really standing out there. The kind of places you would have seen in Fallout 3, to the point where I'm not 100% sure that this isn't just a one-for-one copy. Alright, so that gun's not going to work. Let's swap some things around. We have, as far as weapons go, one that we're using the cowboy repeater right now with damage 15. Seems like it's time to switch over to the revolver. And that gave me 25 XP. That is what we've been looking for. They have stealth boys on them. We'll collect all those. And if I'm going to pick up these rebar clubs, I'm going to get overwhelmed very quickly. Yeah. So yeah, I've been keeping an eye out, trying to find ways to get XP in this game, because there really just aren't that many enemies to fight so far. Yeah. So what I guess it comes down to as far as the special stats is that there isn't really going to be a Yeah, I don't think my gun is doing anything there to him. I think my perception is getting expanded because of Eddie, and I think Eddie is doing all the killing for me. Which, okay, if that's how it's gonna be, that's how it's gonna be. It looks like there's a lot of different ways to go. If this is just a door, we'll leave the door closed, so we'll know we'll go a different direction. And we'll do some lockpicking for 30 XP.
Come and get it, you big dumb. Hey, you're not one of those things out there. Who the hell are you?
Let's see. Jason sent me down here to get rid of the demons.
And I bet he told you it's the Creator's will for you to risk your ass instead of him, right? Well, good luck with that. I'd give you a hand, but no thanks. I may look like a corpse, but I'm partial to living.
Okay. Let's ask all the questions and exhaust the dialogue.
Guess the outfit gives that away, huh?
I really wish
I
my
never did
choices
buy
were
into that
voiced.
religious mumbo jumbo with the robes and all that shit. It gets lonely out in the wastes, okay? And I don't have to tell you that Bright's group has got some fine-looking goulettes in it. Or maybe I would have to tell you. Anyway, I helped them out, and they kept me supplied with ammo and pleasant company.
So apparently he's trapped.
First off, I'm not trapped. This was a tactical choice, alright? I'm no match for those things out there. So I found a good defensive position, and I've been defending it, right? Oh, who am I fooling? I'm trapped. Name's Harland. Pleased to meet you. What happened was, I was escorting folks down to work when those things attacked us. Most of the fight was upstairs, but some folks panicked and made for the basement, and I went after them. Well, turns out there were even more of those bastards down here than upstairs, and things went to shit fast. I couldn't find the others, so I fell back to this room, set up a nice little kill zone. End of story.
So it seems like to me that this might be a companion character.
I'm not delicate. Radroach meat for protein, condensation off the pipes for water, and I do my business over in the far corner. I wouldn't say it's been comfy. Huh. Well, you're polite. I'll give you that. If this was just between you and me, I'd do as you ask. But it's not. I had a friend with me when those mutant bastards came out of nowheres. She panicked and ran the wrong direction. Further into the basement. She's probably dead. But I ain't leaving until I know for sure. I'd have gone looking myself, except I wouldn't last a minute out there. You, on the other hand, seem pretty resourceful. Find my friend, and I'll get out of your way.
So we get in a quest.
Thanks. Let me know what you find out. Here's hoping she's okay.
Okay. Find Harlan's friend who's been imprisoned by Nightkin. We immediately are now over encumbered. And let's see, weapons. Rebar club, repair. Disarming bear traps will give me 2 XP, so I should look around here. I don't think I have actually the ability though to rearm bear traps. Ouch. There was a trap, too. And see, even in very easy mode, I feel like that should probably do a little bit more than half damage. But I guess the balance in this game is to just cripple you, which we can address that by using... Well, I don't think you actually wanted to do that. I think you just want to do one stim pack on everything. And we'll be a little bit more careful. There was a tripwire there. I still walked over it. The darkness also definitely plays a part. You kind of have to admit that. Yeah. Trap on a trap. But yeah, the dark screen interiors are going to play a role on just how many traps you can actually find and interact with. Let's see. Yeah, I need 55 or higher. And 12 gauge. Shotgun shells are lying around. He's just up there. Alright. So, does this wrap around to where he is? Well, whoops. And see, here's the problem, is if I was to load, like, can I even load the auto load? Yeah, we've kind of done too much to undo all of that. We could certainly just replay the last few minutes and do what was intentional, but I think this really is just going to be a highlight of how you kind of just don't have control of how the game is going to go. The idea of coming up here to really just say hi and having him turn aggro and attack you just is Fallout in a nutshell. Even Fallout New Vegas. Whereas modern games would definitely have warned you. Maybe we could still do that optional side quest. Is it really worth picking up rad roach meat? Then we'll pretend like we're gonna read this. Just to see if it will give us any side quest or any marker on the map. Yeah. Stealth boy shipment. Then you have a whole bunch of crates with what seems like only 2 or 3 of them having actual items in them, and even then it's not likely that it's anything big. I was expecting to see a bucket in one of these corners, as far as he said he used one of the corners as a toilet, but yeah, of the areas up here, not really seeing too much as far as, yeah, it would be easy enough to put a bucket and do some environmental storytelling that way. Here's another thought. Since this really isn't a parkour game, can we run and jump and make that? Yes, we can, and we can even do it when we are crippled. There's nothing over here, however, worth doing any of that. So the recommendation would be don't go in this area. Okay. Next we'll go to this door. Get down and try and hide.
What's that, Antler? We have a visitor. An assassin, more like. I say kill it, Antler, for safe's sake. Hmm? Okay, Antler, I'll ask. Hi, human. Why you come here?
Let's see. So we have another character we can talk to.
Who is Antler? Who is Antler? Antler, the human asks about you. What do I tell it? All right. All right. Yes, of course. Who Antler is not important to you. Antler wants that you deal with me.
Okay.
Me? I am devoted to Antler. But before Antler... Captain once. Last name Davison. First name... Don't remember. I commanded a troop of Niken, the Master's elite. A great honor. Very proud. Something happened. We wandered the desert. Life without Master was hard. The others' minds going strange, going crazy. But then, I found us new Master. I found us Antler. Since then, everything's been going really well.
Maybe I can help.
Good. Antler brought us here for a reason. Why was that, Antler? Right. A piece of paper. Shipment invoice. Hundreds of stealth boys sent here a long time ago. But stealth boys must be in the one room. One we don't search yet. The one we can't search.
So, why can't you search the last room?
A ghoul, but not squishy like others. This ghoul is tough. I thought Antler said, send my kin into that room, but 3 died. Ghoul is a crack shot and set traps too. After I realized I heard Antler wrong, so I locked the door to keep kin out and wait for Antler to tell me what to do. Then you come along. Antler says you are solution.
A lot of this seems to be stuff that would counteract each other depending on your choice. It doesn't seem like you could just exhaust the entire dialogue here.
What you saying, human? Liar! The invoice said stealth boys here. Antler read it out loud to me. But invoice note said stealth boys were here. Why can't that note be true? What, Antler? But human could be lying. Stealing the stealth boys for itself. Oh, Antler, you trust so easy. Your lucky day, human. Antler believe you. Niken will follow the new note to find stealth boys. Better be there.
Okay, so we have gotten rid of the Nightkin, but wouldn't it give me more experience to have shot these people? Like, honestly, did I just pick the wrong easy out when perhaps if you want XP, you're better off taking the more difficult out? And inherently, maybe that's kind of the another issue certainly is that I don't think they have I just don't think they have the reward system particularly balanced, where taking this more peaceful out rewards you like it probably should. Like I'd get 200 XP for not killing, for every for not killing people, where I'd only get 100 XP for killing them. I think I probably will get a very basic 100 XP. I almost thought this was a dead end. It may still prove to be a dead end. There's a massive amount of garbage on the ground, which, if there was a crafting bench, it might be worth doing that. I think Eddie is knocking cans over, even though he's hovering. Yeah, I just can't really justify picking up any of that stuff on the ground unless there is going to be a crafting bench very, very close in the same room, basically. And I wonder now if we are going to some other exit and whether this leads to the outside or not. This definitely is just one for one. It feels like it's been copied from layouts in Fallout 3. We are in a fairly weird position at this point now with Bethesda, because on one end you can complain about Bethesda, you can rightfully complain that Bethesda doesn't make games fast enough. On the other end, when you see straight up copying and pasting happening between content between Fallout 3 and New Vegas, it's hard to accept that and think that that's a good product. Okay. Reloading bench. I'll break down 9mm and then I guess I will craft magnums. And I don't know what else I really want to break down. Yeah, and it would very much be a case of needing primers, I guess, more than anything else. I could make nails from scrap metal. I just don't have any of the parts, the schematics that you would need. Yeah. Apparently I can't really crawl under Eddie. Okay. So there is a massive amount of stuff here that I could pick up and try and craft. It would probably just fill my inventory. This looks like where the people are going, the ghouls are going, that they're going to get in these rockets and try to...
Hello? Who's down there?
That's none of your business, Smoothskin. Jason was very clear. Get rid of the demons, then report back. He didn't tell you to poke around down there. Got it?
Get moving.
Interesting how the voice just totally changed. Also interesting you have a smoldering cigar here, which that doesn't make any sense. So let's take a spacesuit, first of all. Spacesuit helmet. Conductor, pilot lights. Alright, we'll give this way more of a effort than it really deserves. We'll go and overwhelm ourselves. This looks like this would be a door, but it seems like we're not to that yet. Leather belts, muck fruit, forceps, wonder glue, sensor modules. Now I assume climb the ladder to the Mojave Wasteland. Yep. So that is an exit. So we're still trying to just investigate the area a little bit more, and then we'll leave. Did we investigate this way? This is going to be a nightmare though if we become over encumbered, isn't it? Scrap metal. Abrax cleaner. Yeah, just a ton of stuff. That button looks like something you might activate or interact with. And I guess if I had the ability to convert things to just other things, if I had a junk launcher or something along that line, will I speed up anything if I put my gun away? It would make sense to pick up all this junk. But it really, really doesn't make sense to pick up all this junk now. Why does the game want to do this to you? That's the real question to ask. Is some sadist at Bethesda decided this is the way games are supposed to be designed, with huge amounts of vendor trash, all interactable, all collectible, to then just have you be over encumbered. Well, I guess the good news is nobody else has ever designed a feature like this, a new feature that works the same way. The closest thing you have are stamina systems in like fighting games, but at least stamina systems in fighting games have a logical purpose. It is to stop button mashers in fighting games from winning non-stop, although that only has a certain level of success. But yeah, modern gamers, even when this game was out, had fully rejected the feeling and concepts of being over encumbered, being having stamina systems is just not what people want. People want to actually play their games. And if you are feeling the need to artificially make your game last longer, then I would say fight that urge. Don't give in to it, and let's see, stretch your game out in such a weird way. So now I've removed everything in his inventory. I have everything here. The overcharge, at least we know we can do that. And we can recycle energy cells. Is this really giving us XP though? No. So I would need my science to be higher, is what I'm noticing here for some of this. I guess, let's see. Which ones of these can I really do? 85 science for some of these bullets. No, duct tape. Explosives. If I could get my explosives on, I could make a bunch of satchel charges. Okay, so if I read the magazine to increase my science and increase my explosives, I can craft exactly 2 things. But that's it. And honestly, that's probably the best this is going to get. Okay, so books. Big book of science. Let's just do this one at a time. Science was increased by 4. And we'll craft as much as what we possibly can craft. And then let's see if we have one that would be around explosives. Some of my cooking and food also is probably because my survival is just too low. Right, Patriots cookbook. Let's see if we can do that. Satchel charge. Okay. So let's find an inventory spot in this room and let's just dump the rest of this. Since pretty obviously that is useless stuff. But before we do that though, see if maybe we can repair some weapons or apparel. Doesn't seem like we can. generally you kind of want to keep one of everything. Okay, so that didn't change much. Right. Miscellaneous things. We're at 614. Let's see. One on a stick we can get rid of. I can get rid of. Oh, I want to look at miscellaneous stuff. Is first of all why. Get rid of that. We can get rid of things that, at the bare minimum, we know are absolutely useless. Although some of these have like no value to them either, so conductors here have a weight of 60 for 360, which that is too heavy. Anything labeled empty is probably not worth anything. Fusion batteries. Hammers. Ton of lead. Leather belt. Night Stalker blood, Night Stalker eggs. Paint guns, pencils, pilot lights. Scrap metal, sensor modules. We know we can actually do something with some of those, like sensor modules, and it's still not good enough to hold on to. Right, so that's just getting rid of that stuff. Lowered my inventory to 329. And the good news is that these toolboxes and things, although we're not 100% sure they will actually hold all the items that we're leaving it forever, they are at the very least not limited to anything. So you're not having to, oh, what am I trying to say here? A value of 500 with a weight of 9 for a rebar club. But here you have value of 250 for a weight of 1.5. And then outfits here and things like this really shouldn't give away. And food we really shouldn't give away, so I think what we'll do is give the rest to Eddie. This cowboy repeater does 15. This one does 25 for a hunting rifle. I don't think we're ever going to use the incinerator. We're probably never going to use the knife. We don't have any bullets for the laser guns. Still not really sure how this recharger pistol works. Satchel charges. Did not want to give away the weathered 10mm pistol, although the weathered 10mm pistol might actually be worse than just a 10mm submachine gun. Might be time to give it away. Basically, the smarter move is to look at the prices and just search via that. This was a barter hat, and this is a barter hat. So let's get rid of, well, this is a barter outfit, and this is a barter hat, so I could wear both. Then sheriff, slave scarf, spacesuit helmets, jumpsuit. We'll keep the spacesuit in case we're going to use that very quickly. And then it would definitely be a case of just filling up Eddie's inventory as much as possible. There's just way too much of this going on. We still don't have any Radaway, which that would be one thing we would really like to actually have. Restore limb conditions with Hydra. Okay, I shouldn't be over encumbered now. Yeah. Wait, nope. He dropped a faction armor outfit that I tried to give him. Again, probably the Legion outfit. Yep. And we don't know where that really exits out to. So, honestly, it probably would be better to go through here and then come back just to see. Where we are. Yeah, this exits out to what looks like just around the corner. So it looks like we could have just snuck in this way. Now it's weird your flashlight turns off. And I kind of wonder if the internal lighting situation isn't progressive and that they intend it to work like a human eyes and in that your eyes just get used to the darkness after a while. But if you program the game to work that way, then you're programming human eyes to react. You're programming a game to react like human eyes, and then human eyes would react to it, so you'd just be prolonging the whole experience. Okay. So the next question really is going to come down to, can we find a ghoul down here? Are we going to find any nightkin in this area? Is there anything possibly in any of this that is actually worth taking? Maybe maize is a little bit rarer than I think. But See, we're probably going to have to use the internal imagery, and we can see a lot of visual glitches happening, so might be worth it to take a moment and save the game. Again, just a closet full of junk. And I guess if your strength was really, really high, you could grab all this junk. I just don't see why you would. See if the game crashes as we save here. Nope, we managed to avoid that. I would assume. Let's bring up the local map. Yeah. So it looks like we've kind of gone everywhere. It does seem to me like had I run through this entire place and fought a bunch of Nightkin, it really would have only been 2 or 3 more Nightkin, maybe 7 or 8. It doesn't strike me like I missed out on even 100 XP. They're trying to do some verticality in their level design there, which I guess I have to applaud that, because at least that's a little ambitious. Yeah. And so for all we know, the ghoul lady was in that room. And she just despawned and disappeared. Yeah, it really doesn't make sense though that there would be this much of a level and then you could just talk your way through it. It's not even like I had to use my speech skill to talk my way through it. I simply had to have a conversation. Well, that is a somewhat interesting way to resolve a problem mentally for a video game that is already lacking a lot of action. Here we have a floating wrench. To once again miss out on action through just having a conversation is irritating. So this door requires a key. So, yeah, the only thing I could think maybe is that we're going to come back into this whole area and it's going to be run by something else, like rad roaches. Or something. Or this is supposed to be some kind of hide and seek quest. Find the hidden object. Find the jail key in this case. I guess that did turn out to be true. I don't see anybody in there. But I guess I have no other option but to investigate further. Oh, I thought this episode was going to be so action-packed. And then very quickly I'm having my companion kill everybody and not even really contributing much. I'm not getting as much XP as I would like. So she was dead. I don't know if she was always dead or if she was just dead because I killed the companion character. Unless there is another ghoul somewhere around here. So I am definitely left wondering, was there a different outcome for this encounter, or was it always that you were going to find the jail key, you were going to find the prisoner dead, then you were going to report back to Harold, and then Harold maybe would have given you some small reward. I just probably will never know. It's definitely going to be a hard argument to go back and play this a second time if I was ever even going to consider that. And inherently, even when I did play Skyrim a second time, I'm still really just playing it with the exact same moral decisions and playthrough strategies anyway, so it's not really a case where I end up experiencing that much different anyways. Now, it would be nice if the game saved me some time and somebody just met me at that door. Unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen, so what I have to do is figure out the best way to the upstairs. It's over here, I think, so turn around. Go this way. Then I guess go this way. There we go. And this will get me upstairs, but that's not really where I want to. Lighting issues all over the place. I definitely am uncertain as to whether I've really sided with the right side as far as a space cult over a group of crazy nightkin. And yeah, these guys would have workbenches, but I need somebody to sell me schematics so I know how to build things, what to build. Okay.
Hello.
So we're looking for the leader. Here he is. Then here we've got the human in a different outfit once again. I imagine it's not a smart move to change change what outfits main characters are wearing, or even secondary NPC characters.
Praise the Creator, and bless you, Wanderer. The way is clear. I will lead my flock through the basement to the sacred site. I hope you will come find us there, Wanderer. There is much to be done.
Okay. So now everybody is running to the sacred site. So we just went there, and now we are following them. And if they just show us, if we can just follow them, then this might be an interesting little follow the leader experience. You can see they are in these spacesuits. What's funny is we didn't get any experience from any of that, nor did they care one bit about the other guy. And I don't think it's follow the leader anymore so much. So we'll just go ahead and run to where we know they were going. Now, did we possibly save the human by taking the space outfit? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just going to be a case where they all get into spaceships and blow up. Because this is probably just a testing facility where none of them actually work.
I waited to speak with you one last time before I descended to the launch pad, Wanderer. I want you to know that we will remember for all eternity how you delivered us to the threshold of the great journey. Our preparations are nearly complete, but the rockets that will carry us to salvation are yet missing vital components. If you would still help us, Wanderer, speak to Chris. He can tell you what is missing. There is no way that we can thank you enough, Wanderer. Your arrival here was a blessing. We will remember you always.
Let's see.
Yes. The rockets will convey us to our promised land.
Let's exhaust all the dialogue.
Vision upon vision has confirmed it.
Let's talk about Chris.
After all that you have done for us, I suppose you deserve to know everything. When Chris came to us, we tried to convince him that he was human. But this only angered him. He seemed lost. We decided to let him stay with us for a few days, over the course of which we learned that his technical skills far surpassed our own. It became clear that the Creator had sent him to us, to ensure the success of the great journey.
I wonder if Chris is a synth.
Labor in blessed ignorance of his humanity, and his inability to make the journey himself. It is no coincidence that two humans have been vital to the success of the great journey. It is my belief that the Creator sent you and Chris to expiate the sins of your kind against mine. Your redeemers both. Such is the Creator's will. Vision upon vision has shown me that were Chris to accompany us, he would die in minutes. The radiation around the launch pad alone would kill Chris in minutes. The radioactivity of the far beyond is much stronger.
Well, it's none of my business.
Chris shall be declared the saint of the great journey before we depart. I hope this will ease his sadness.
Should we warn him about this? Well, let's see what he says.
I understand your concerns, friend, and I thank you for voicing them. But the Creator's will for us has been made manifest.
What's funny is this kind of feels like
no way that
this might actually work for ghouls.
Your arrival here was a blessing. We will remember you always.
There is a radiation cloud in space that about halfway from Earth and the Moon that requires some shielding, and I imagine there's all kinds of radiation that spaceships would need.
Jason says that I am to cooperate with you on the final tasks necessary to launch the great journey.
So let's go ahead and exhaust all of this.
I'm the flock's resident engineer. I've always been good with machines. Jason says the great journey would have been impossible without me. Of course, my skills aren't much use unless I have the right materials. That's where you come in. Obviously, it's taken months, but I've nearly got them in working order. Soon they'll take us to the far beyond. I was skeptical at first, of course, being a man of science. But Jason is certain, and I believe in Jason.
Let's just exhaust all the dialogue.
When I joined the flock, Jason made it clear that he wanted me to supervise the repairs, not do them myself. It would be a waste of my gifts to work on just one system at a time. From up here, I've been able to supervise the entire project.
Let's go ahead and try and tell him.
I thought we were past all that, smooth skin. But you just can't resist the chance to mess with me. Typical human. I was human once, you know. Grew up in Vault 34, northeast of here. Nice
Interesting.
upbringing if you like assault rifles and target practice. But oh, you prefer machines that don't shoot people? Not so nice then. Who should maintain the vault's reactor? Hauser? Mitchell? No. Make it Haversam. He likes machines. Haversam won't mind getting irradiated. Haversam won't mind mutating. He's already ugly as it is. Haversam won't mind when his hair starts falling out after a few years. There's no connection, Haversam. You're neurotic.
So we get a so we get a map marker, and we know he was being bullied in the vault.
Bald? You call this bald, Smoothskin? I'm a monster. A monster!
That's kind of funny. We do have a speech 50. Let's try and see what this does.
Oh, God. You're telling me the truth, aren't you? Oh, no. How could they do this to me? For 2 years. My God, I've been a joke to them. Do you have any idea how easy it'd be for me to sabotage those rockets? That'd be a joke, huh? One hell of a joke.
So, let's not convince him to do that. That sounds like that would be immoral.
What, you think I'm too stupid to pull it off? I know enough to get their rockets working, don't I? So I can make them fail, too. Like I could forgive myself for getting duped like this? They used me, and now they'll throw me away. And dying would be worse than this? Used up and thrown away like garbage? Oh, so I've redeemed the human race, is that it? What a crock.
Whoops,
The
maybe I
human
shouldn't have
race
gone
can't
down this
stand
dialogue.
me. So, you want me to accompany you on your adventures across the wasteland, is that it? Life among humans again? That's what you're
This
suggesting?
is a lot of dialogue
I
here.
guess it's the only chance I've got. I can't believe I'm agreeing to this, but I'll give it a try. I'll get Jason and his flock on their way, and then I'll head for Novak.
Alright, so you'd think you'd get like some kind of
Are
reward
you
for
ready
doing
to
all
get
of that.
started? Those rockets aren't going to launch themselves.
How can I help?
I was close to completing work on the rockets before we were driven into hiding on the top floor. 2 components were missing. A quantity of isotope 239 igniting agent, and a set of thrust control modules. The igniting agent is highly radioactive and decays quickly. That's why we can't use the drums that leak down on the launch pad. It's no longer potent enough. I need you to find an intact, shielded container of the igniting agent. As for the thrust control modules, they were custom built for these rockets. They won't even launch without them.
Okay, so let's go with the igniting agent first.
Very well. We don't need a huge amount. 2 to 3 liters should be enough.
Let's see.
Repcon has been ransacked so many times by scavengers, it's hard to know where the components might turn up. If they turn up. Jason has mentioned some industrial ruins to the east that are supposed to be highly radioactive.
So I guess that's the first
Bye.
part of the quest. Then. Let's see, the world map quest. Find atomic fuel for the rockets. It is pointing me in this direction. So we are going back to Novak. Alright. So this is a bigger quest than what I thought it was going to be. Is this radioactive? Any of this radioactive? Yep. So we probably should just not walk into the exact center of it. Is there anything over here? Not by the looks of it. So remember, we had a secondary quest as far as cow killers, and that was the quest that pointed us to walk in this direction, or mistakenly. I really should have not walked in this direction and instead should have just been at the cow pen. They're not really called cows, they're called Brahmin. And we have this whole other section over here. Can we actually reach this? Seems like you'd probably have to try and parkour up here if you're gonna try and reach this, and I imagine that's just not the way to get up there, if there is a way to get up there. That may just be for show. Probably isn't. One thing Bethesda games are fairly good at is not having garbage distant buildings that you can't actually see and reach. They're somewhat bad about... Hey, we gained some karma for doing that. Up. They are, however, somewhat bad about having buildings that you can walk next to and then you aren't actually able to do anything more with them. Let's not pick that one up. Yeah, and I think we've already pretty much seen all of this. We could probably sleep in a bed. There's more enemies from the sounds of it. And the game crashed. Well, you definitely can see why the recommendation is to at least install the anti-crash mod, anti-crash mod in Fallout New Vegas. Inherently, that's going to put me outside the building again, and so we lost maybe 4 minutes of gameplay. Not a lot, but there is definitely a possibility of losing a decent amount of progress if you were staying outside quite a lot. This gun feels like this is a decent gun to use. Although I feel like New Vegas in particular is probably better situated around rifles. There's, particularly when you're outside, a high chance you are going to want longer distance on your shots. So let's switch to the hunting rifle, and considerably less bullets there than the Magnum or whatever gun I was using before. It does look like there's something out in that direction. This time I'm going to try and maybe go for more headshots. And I'm going to try and only search new enemies. it is weird that the most I've gotten recently has been from killing random people instead of from finishing quests, or even partially finishing quests. What is giving me the radiation? That's a glowing one. Ah, that is what's being irradiated. I don't think I can hit this without using VATS through the fence. And the glowing one, not giving much of an extra reward. Still not really sure. Oh, I was a little surprised that worked. Shooting at the bottles. Not really sure why I'm gaining karma, though. And that's annoying, certainly, to walk that direction and it be a dead end. Alright. Lockpick needs to go up, science needs to go up, repair needs to go up. Weirdly, we still are in this case where everything is in kind of a bad position. I think maybe if I threw 3 to get that to 15 and 3 to get that to 15, that would probably be a mistake. Yeah, more than anything. That's kind of what I want. Let's see if we get that to 40, 55, and 55. And no perks this time. It does seem like the game is fairly inconsistent as to when you get perks and when you don't. I wish that it would better explain that. I definitely was over the thought that every time you would level up, you would get a perk. That's obviously not the case. So yeah, 3 out of the 4 directions here are blocked off. Is there anything valuable? Nope. So, the only thing I could think is maybe you get karma for just mercy killing the feral ghouls. The Fallout TV series perhaps puts more of a spin on why ghouls go feral, whereas I feel like the Fallout games have not bothered to go and explain it. In fact, I think, for better or worse, that's probably what most of Fallout tries to do, is not really explain things too much. Okay, so here we have a Nightkin. Let's talk to him. With a machine gun. The screams of the Brahmin. Let's read that note. Or listen to the note. Where would it be? It should be under here. Most of what recorded here is a mess of incomprehensible psychotic gibberish. It seems to express a general frustration towards a set of Brahmin who allegedly keep the author awake at night by screaming inside his head whenever he closes his eyes. Here is the stealth boy shipment. Okay. So, there is one dead Brahmin here, but 3 left. So now let's go talk to them and see if we can get that side quest done.
Look who's here. What brings you here? Nice of you to visit.
So no quest being returned there.
Find anything? Well, I don't know how you've done it, but I do know how I can thank you. Please take this, compliments of Alice and myself. And help yourself to anything in that freezer over yonder. We got more steaks in there than we'd be able to eat in a year.
So we get 75 bottle caps.
So long.
And we are now accepted in Novak for doing that quest. And we can just take all these Brahmin steaks, which frankly I don't need. Everything else still would be stealing, however. Yeah, I'm not sure for certain that you ever are going to get to a point where you are just so beloved in an environment and in an encounter that you would, or in a city, that you would be able to take everything. Okay. So we have got distracted here, and so we really haven't moved the main quest forward. And so we're going to just walk through the center of Novak. And I think try and find the trader, if we can find a trader, and sell some things. That would probably be a great time to do that.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Let's see. Let's go ahead and pay him to heal the
You
radiation.
won't be able to read in the dark as well. Okay. And remember, if this doesn't help, try taking a bath in tomato juice.
Okay. So I no longer have radiation sickness. For 100 battle caps, that's probably worth it.
What can
Let's
I
see
do
if
for
we
you?
can maybe buy and sell some
Yeah, and I
medical
need
supplies.
sterile medical supplies. But let's see what I have with me.
So, what we're looking for here is 0 weight items that we can buy, which will probably be drugs. And then we will sell non-zero weight items to her that we don't really care about. Like this minigun, if I'm gonna keep it, I would have to do something with it. And yeah, I should have really done some other things first before I got to this point.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. Later.
So we just can't have this character walk away for too fast. We need to come in here. Take all of this. Then we need to pull up our menu and start to try and repair things. I assume our repair skills here are doing something for us, and that we aren't just wasting our time. See, I don't know if it really isn't even worth it to just like put on a roving trader outfit to get a little bit more barter when all I'm really trying to do here is sell things. Okay. What do we want to sell? I think we can sell a knife pretty easily. I think we can sell a machete. I think we'll hold on to the minigun just to see if we get some upgrade to it. We have 2 recharger pistols here, and if I sold just one, that's all of our caps. Okay. So.
Pleasure doing business with you. Bye.
And I don't think it's particularly a situation where you're what's the damage here for this one versus this one? And yeah. What was I gonna say there? Oh, yeah, I don't know if it really is a situation where the healing yourself and paying to heal yourself or paying to remove radiation would really add to our caps by that much. And boy, do I wish I could just equip things. Armored Vault 13 jumpsuit will see. Melee weapons, guns too. That is another thought that I was thinking about, is that there is a argument to be made here that if I was going to try and have a The inventory is almost full. Yeah. If I was going to try and play like a melee class, and run around and hack and slash things, I just don't. I don't think that would really work in this game. Right. Well, that got my inventory well enough set up. And I think there's still more to be investigated as far as the city and moving the main story forward. But instead, the option is to move the side quest forward. Which, yeah. It definitely feels like we're just not really making that much progress in these episodes. And yeah, I'm not really standing by on the highways. I'm more than confident enough to wander around. I do see some characters in my very extended perception on the radar. And so I would imagine what would be interesting here is if we found that this was like ghouls. But it seems like it's just geckos. Alright. So I'm going to save there. And this is about as good as we're going to get as far as a place to stop. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and keep on watching. Thanks.